Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Sally packs bags and moves out, leaves Adam immediately over Chelsea. Truth. The Young and the Restless, Y&R, spoilers reveal that Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, will feel like the rug's been pulled out from under her. Although Sally pushed Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, for the real Baltimore story, he looked her straight in the eyes and swore he didn't take Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, to bed. Sally decided to ignore her instincts and let go of her doubts, so she's feeling good about her future with Adam again. That'll change once Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, alerts Sally to the depth of Adam's deception during the week of August 26 to 30. There's a chance Sally might have forgiven Adam if he'd come clean from the start. Since Adam and Chelsea were so upset over Connor Newman, Judah Mackey, when they hooked up, that's something Sally might have cut Adam a little slack over. Adam at least should have confessed when Sally directly asked him if he slept with Chelsea. Since Adam lied so easily and made himself sound so believable, how can Sally ever trust a word out of his mouth ever again? That's something that Sally will inevitably bring up to Adam once Billy breaks the news that she's dating a total liar. Adam looks like a real creep and clearly can't be trusted, so we won't blame Sally at all when she packs her bags and moves out. It looks like Sally may grab a few of her belongings right off the bat and head for the door. It may start out as an attempt to get the whole truth from Adam in his own words. After Billy's updates, Sally will know exactly what Adam and Chelsea did in that hotel room. When faced with Sally potentially walking out on him, Adam will admit everything and suggest that he was too scared of losing her to come clean. Although Adam will block Sally's path and desperately try to explain, there's nothing he can do to fix this now. It's too late for Adam to own up to his mistakes, especially since he would have left Sally in the dark forever if he had his way. There's no chance Sally will stick around and put up with more of Adam's horrible behavior. Sally has to preserve what's left of her dignity here, so she'll surely leave Adam and vow to send for the rest of her stuff later. Our predictions point to Adam sinking to a pretty low place in the aftermath of Sally's decision, so this breakup should affect him big time. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Sally will have to pick up the pieces of her life and find her own path forward, so stay tuned to see what's next. Sally Spectra stood in the middle of her luxurious penthouse, surrounded by the life she had carefully crafted with Adam Newman. The modern furniture, the chic decor, and the memories they had shared within these walls suddenly felt suffocating. Her heart pounded in her chest as the realization hit her like a ton of bricks. Everything she thought she knew about Adam, the man she had fallen deeply in love with, was built on a foundation of lies. The truth had come out in the most devastating way. She had overheard a conversation between Adam and Chelsea, one that shattered the image of the man she believed Adam to be. For months, Sally had suspected that something wasn't quite right, but she had pushed those doubts aside, convincing herself that Adam was the man he claimed to be, a man who had changed, who had left his dark past behind him. But the conversation she had just heard erased all those hopes in an instant. Chelsea had come to see Adam at the penthouse earlier that day. Sally had just returned from a busy day at work, and she was in the kitchen when she heard the front door open and Chelsea's voice echo through the foyer. Curiosity piqued, she had quietly stepped into the hallway, remaining out of sight but close enough to hear every word. "I can't believe you did this, Adam." Chelsea's voice was sharp, laced with anger and hurt. "You promised me you were done with the lies, but you've been lying to her all along." Adam's response was softer, almost pleading. "Chelsea, you know it's complicated. Sally doesn't need to know everything. She can't handle the truth about us." Sally's breath caught in her throat as she pressed herself against the wall, her heart racing. "The truth about us? What did that mean?" Chelsea's voice was relentless. "You're still hung up on me, Adam. Admit it. You can't move on from what we had, and now you're dragging Sally into this mess. It's not fair to her." Sally felt her blood run cold. Adam had always assured her that his relationship with Chelsea was over, that they were nothing more than co-parents to Connor. But now the truth was unraveling before her eyes, and it was uglier than she could have imagined. Adam's voice trembled slightly as he tried to defend himself. "Chelsea, it's not like that. I care about Sally, care about her." Chelsea cut him off, her tone dripping with sarcasm. If you cared about her, you wouldn't be lying to her face every single day. You're using her to distract yourself from what you really want, and you know what that is, Adam. There was a long silence, one that hung in the air like a storm cloud. Sally's mind raced as she tried to process the words she had just heard. Had Adam been using her all along? Was their entire relationship a lie? The pain of betrayal cut deep, and for the first time she felt like she didn't even know the man she had been living with. Finally, Adam spoke again, his voice barely above a whisper. "Chelsea, I never meant to hurt anyone. I thought I could make it work with Sally, but you're right. I haven't been honest with her. I still have feelings for you, and I don't know how to move past that." Sally's heart shattered. It wasn't just a lie, it was a betrayal of the deepest kind. Adam still had feelings for Chelsea, and he had been stringing her along, pretending to build a future with her, while his heart remained entangled with another woman. The realization was too much to bear. Without making a sound, Sally turned and walked back into the kitchen. She couldn't listen to any more of this conversation. The truth was out, and it was unbearable. Tears welled up in her eyes as she leaned against the counter, trying to steady herself. How could she have been so blind? How could she have let herself fall for a man who was still hung up on his ex? But there was no time for self-pity. Sally knew what she had to do. She had to get out of this penthouse, out of this toxic relationship, and away from Adam Newman for good. With her mind made up, Sally quickly grabbed a suitcase from the closet and began packing. She didn't need much, just a few essentials to get her through the next few days. She could come back for the rest of her things later, once she had found a new place to stay. Right now, all she needed was to put as much distance between herself and Adam as possible. As she threw clothes into the suitcase, her mind raced with a mix of emotions: anger, hurt, betrayal, and most of all, a sense of profound loss. She had truly believed that Adam was the one, the man she could build a future with. But now that future was gone, and she was left to pick up the pieces of her shattered heart. By the time she finished packing, Sally was running on pure adrenaline. She zipped up the suitcase and dragged it into the living room, her hands trembling with the effort. She knew Adam would notice the packed bags as soon as he saw them, but she didn't care. Let him realize what he had lost. Just as she was about to leave, the front door opened, and Adam walked in. His eyes immediately went to the suitcase by the door, and his expression turned to one of confusion and panic. "Sally, what are you doing?" he asked, his voice laced with worry. She met his gaze with cold, tear-filled eyes. "I'm leaving, Adam. I can't stay here anymore, not after what I heard." Adam's face paled as he realized she had overheard his conversation with Chelsea. "Sally, please, let me explain." But Sally shook her head, cutting him off. "There's nothing to explain, Adam. I heard everything. I heard you tell Chelsea that you still have feelings for her, that you've been lying to me this whole time. I can't stay in a relationship built on lies. I deserve better than that." Adam took a step toward her, his eyes pleading. "Sally, I do care about you. I never wanted to hurt you. I was just confused." Confused? Sally's voice cracked with emotion. "You were using me, Adam. You were using me to get over Chelsea, and that's not fair. I won't be anyone's second choice." Adam's expression was one of despair as he tried to reach out to her, but Sally stepped back, refusing to let him touch her. "Please, Sally, don't go. We can work through this. I can make it right." But Sally's mind was made up. She had already spent too much time in a relationship that was doomed from the start. There was no fixing this, no going back. Adam had broken her trust, and there was no way to repair it. "I'm sorry, Adam," she said, her voice soft but firm. "But I can't stay here anymore. I need to move on, and you need to figure out what you really want. I hope you find it, but it won't be with me." With those final words, Sally grabbed her suitcase and headed for the door. Adam called after her, his voice desperate and filled with regret, but she didn't stop. She couldn't. The penthouse door closed behind her with a heavy thud, and as Sally stepped into the elevator, she felt a mixture of relief and sadness. She had just walked away from the man she loved, but she knew it was the right thing to do. She deserved someone who would choose her without hesitation, someone who wouldn't lie to her or keep secrets. As the elevator descended, Sally wiped away the tears streaming down her face. She was stronger than this, stronger than Adam's betrayal. And as she walked out of the building and into the night, She knew that this was the beginning of a new chapter in her life, one where she would no longer settle for anything less than she deserved.